First of all, thank you very much for organizing this very important webinar. And I really appreciated, a little bit worried about the professor's presentation of the radical future. My question was, he repeatedly said about second wave of COVID. The issue is whether second wave comes or not, we are going to live with COVID for years to come. What kind of system? We cannot completely make it online all the time for all over the world. What are the possibilities of continuing with COVID and at the same time having in-class sessions or physical sessions? Because he thinks we need to go all the way directly to the online systems or even not the current online system, but radical online system without PowerPoint, without developing game theory. Is it only for the Switzerland scenario, or does he think that this is going to be needed for the developing world as well?
Let me say we have very intensively reflected about the possibilities, because let me say the worst thing which we can face as human race in our understanding is a total social distancing. We have to be in contact. We need other humans in our environment. And what we hope, as it seems in this moment possible, that is that we have seminar-like meetings where students are coming for, let me say, 1-2 weeks in premises which are suited for such distance presence, meaning it is big enough to have social distancing. There are smaller classes around, and we have the opportunity to observe and respect all the means and measures which are in place by governments for very good reasons. We also hope very much that very soon there will be a vaccine available, but as we understand, it will not be for the next 12 to 18 months if we are lucky. So the worst case scenario for us remains a complete online virtual world. We want to have a reduced but still existing seminar presence in form of teaching blocks in premises which are big enough to host with regards to the requested guidelines which governments want to be respected.
Thank you. Continue.
My question is, the virtual world, we need it. This kind of changes, we need it. But we cannot be completely ignore the possibility that there have to be online, on-ground classes as well. When you talk about the new world after the COVID-19, we have gone through a world crisis in 1918, with millions of people died with the Spanish flu. But still we came back, survived, and now we are billions of people in the world. So I think there has to be some more positive, optimistic scenario, not just completely that we stop traveling, we stop going to classes. That's not, in my opinion, going to be possible.
As I said, I hope that it will be so. But if you have read in the last 2 weeks, there is now the swine flu in China emerging, which fortunately so far is not transferring from the pigs to the humankind. And there are, as researchers have suggested, 2 million annual deaths by similar things like COVID-19, but they are much smaller. We simply are positive. We simply consider this as something more in a form that COVID-19 forces us into a world which had come anyway, just slower. If you consider, for example, when you speak about the developing world and other countries, consider a student. A student has to pay in many countries study fees. The student has to travel to this country, has to live in this country. Especially in Switzerland, this is most times for most of the people not affordable. because it is so expensive that it is beyond reach. If you give these students the opportunity to study a good part online, then they can study for a degree which was otherwise unaffordable to them. And this shifting environment was already taking place. Our university has hundreds of students in countries like Nepal, Tanzania, and in Greece and wherever. And these students are studying in these countries and get our degree. They are in transnational form delivered our courses. Now the situation is that if you take...
In Pakistan, there are hundreds of thousands of students doing this already.
Yeah,
studying like